Hello everyone, this is Triangle Mouse, and today we're learning a little bit of strategy in Civilization 6. So what I'm going to teach you in this video is how to deal with the early game threats, so barbarians of course, but also dangerous AIs. So we have everything standard, map size, speed and so on. It's a Pangea map because the AI has no idea how to play in island maps, how to use naval units. They are really not good at that. So to make it a little bit harder in the early game, I made a Pangea map. And so we have a lot of warmongers in here, or at least people who are not particularly friendly. And we are also going to deal with the barbarians on a Pangea map, so that should be okay. The difficulty doesn't get any harder than this. We are also playing with Deity because he doesn't have any good early unique units. Everything here comes a little bit later in the game. So we will have to defend ourselves with the basic stuff. With warriors, with archers. That's it. Okay, so first things first, if you want your first city to be more defendable, you want it to be surrounded by hills and forests, and it doesn't look like that's going to happen right now. I'm going to check the land around here. Okay, so we obviously want to settle this river for housing, and that means we have a lot of grassland here on the south. So we can get attacked from the south very easily, not so much from here, we have hills, not so much from there, we have the river protecting us because of the movement restriction, we have the forest as well, and obviously there won't be anyone on the north. So we have to be aware of threats from the south. First build should always be a slinger, okay? This is not Civilization 5. Don't start with a scout. I'm sorry, I know a lot of people says this is acceptable, but I strongly advise against it. Well, tribal villages are not so good. They will give you a little bit of gold or maybe a boost to one of these early technologies, which are cheap anyway, and you probably can get the boost anyway through other means. So it's really not such a big deal. On the contrary, if you get attacked early, you need defensive units, so Slinger is very good. Also, he will give us a boost to archery, and then with a couple of archers we can defend against anything. Now, normally you can get animal husbandry because it's in our way to archery, okay? In this particular game, I'm going to start with mining because the resources I have right now, they all go with mining. As you can see, stone, stone, and it looks very here. So I will get this with animal husbandry, but I cannot pick where am I going to expand. The game is not telling me yet because I just founded the city. So I'm going to go with mining first. It could be a risky strategy, but I think I will have time to get to archery to defend. The usual early movements with our warrior for some exploration. Well, as you can see, I was exploring around my capital in order to check the area for expansions and so on. Trying not to get very far from Washington, and look at that, we already have a barbarian scout. We need to try to kill him before he gets back to his outpost to call his friends. Let's see if we manage to do it. Our slinger won't be here on time. Okay, I cannot attack him. He's on a hill apparently, so I cannot attack him. This might be dangerous. He came in very, very early, turn number 6, so that is a problem. We know he came from here, so I don't think his camp is around here. I think it's up there, so I'm going to locate my warrior over here. Okay, I cannot move anymore because of the area of control. That's fine. He's also having trouble moving because of the terrain. I will have a slinger soon. but it looks like this little guy might escape, which is very unusual.
More credit. At his best, man is the noblest of all animals.
Okay, early policies. We want the +5 combat against barbarians. Okay, that's obvious. And usually, unless you really need Pantheon, it's better to get production. In this particular case, I'm definitely going with production because I will have to deal with barbarians. I think this guy will escape, which is very rare. I usually just stay around my city with my warrior and manage to scare the scout before he gets to the border of my city. But in this case, as you can see, we have a hard situation. So we need the production to get more slingers, and we are definitely going animal husbandry now. And well, obviously we are always going for political philosophy. This one or this one first, this one or this one first. Well, it depends on your boost, really. Discovering a second continent, depends on luck. So you can just go first for this one. If you're lucky, you'll boost it. If you're unlucky, you will not boost it. It doesn't depend on anything you do. This one, we might be able to boost it if we play the game all right. So the scout could not go anywhere else. I think he wants to go here, and we are choking him. We are stopping his movement in the right way. Yeah, he's trying to run away, but we are going for him, and my slinger needs to check the area. And I need another slinger. I need another slinger because we don't know if this guy will reach the outpost of the barbarians. He's trying to get away. Okay, we found the city-state Granada, and the city-state killed the barbarian. This can happen. It's actually fairly frequent that city-states kill barbarians and they even destroy the barbarian outpost. That second part is actually not so good. You want to destroy the outpost yourself to get the money. Sometimes they steal the money from you. But anyway, in this case it was useful. You will find city-states close to you very frequently, or AI. If there is no city-state, the AI will settle next to you, especially on Deity, because they start with 3 settlers. And we are the first one to meet this guy. So hey, look at that, more production with units. Well, right now that's useful. Now I look for an AI because I want someone to attack me for this video. Okay, we found someone. We found Norway. I never invite them to sample my hospitality because I don't want them to know where my city is. So if they don't invite me to sample his hospitality, I will just say nothing. Exchanging information on capitals, I usually say yes to that later on in the game, but maybe not when I don't have an army yet. So right now we are not going to tell him where we are, although his warrior is right here, so he will know where my city is very soon. I really can't stop that from happening, but that's good for this video, so we'll see how to defend. We accepted his delegation and we are sending a delegation to him as well. I actually forgot to do it on the very first turn I met him. Try to do it on the very first turn you meet them so you get some information from them. We have a barbarian outpost right here. Let's see if we can deal with it before Norway attacks. I already have 2 slingers, so I'm going to get a builder now. If you don't get attacked, the builder is going to be very useful. We are not going to go for archery yet because we didn't kill anyone with a slinger, so we don't have the boost. We are waiting for this boost, which will happen when this slinger helps me with this barbarian outpost. In the meantime, we can get anything else really. Actually, we can put some turns into archery, but we need to try to remember to remove it after half of this is done, because we are definitely going to get this boost. Now I'm exploring a little bit more. We found Norway. Norway is right here. That's a relevant distance, but if we don't want to lose all of our room for expansion, we probably want to forward settle them around here. I think we have fresh water. Here we have fresh water. No. Yeah, we have fresh water because of this. The oasis gives you fresh water. Alright, so Harald has already declared a surprise war against us, even though he really only has one warrior next to my city. This is kind of stupid, really. But it can happen. It can happen. The AI will declare a surprise war against you very, very early in the game. We are on turn 18. And we already got the surprise war. So turn 19, the warrior is trying to attack, but obviously on his own he's not strong enough to do anything. We are coming for him, and this guy, he will come here and attack this fella. This warrior was already wounded, maybe from some barbarian, so we might be able to kill him before my slinger dies. Let's see what happens there. It's a bit risky. If he kills my slinger in one go, which could happen, that's going to be a shame. I'm going to get one more slinger just in case. With 3 archers, you are usually on the safe side. There is another barbarian outpost right here, all of a sudden. This warrior is trying to heal. Indeed, it's very hard to kill enemy warriors with slingers. And this warrior is doing some damage to my city, so I'm going to do this and then that, so my city has more health points. We probably should have done that on the previous turn. I forgot about it. And so this warrior is attacking me. And this warrior is trying to heal. I'm putting my slinger here because this warrior cannot attack him in one go, because he's on the hills and he's in the forest. In the meantime, I will keep hurting this warrior. Okay, we have a problem now. This guy has less than half his health, and this could be a major victory, but not a decisive victory. We need to kill the warrior, or otherwise he will kill us. So we need to retreat, unfortunately. Obviously this warrior is very close to death now. If we are lucky, we might be able to kill him with a slinger to get the boost to archery. Great, so we kill him with a slinger. We always want to get this boost. Archery now only one turn away. That's pretty good. Our warrior can heal. Actually, he will go here and then heal, because this barbarian scout might be coming my way. We don't want him reaching our city and spamming more barbarians. That would be too much trouble. So we couldn't kill 3 barbarians yet. That's a shame. Pottery is always needed eventually, so I'm going to put some turns into that for now. We really don't want this barbarian to come to our city, so we're going to stop him there. So, as I expected, this map was a good example. We are dealing with barbarians and with an enemy, everything at the same time. We can heal this guy for one turn, maybe later we can kill that warrior. We're going to put a few turns into early empire. Remember to change your research to use boosts. Okay, so Granada has dealt with this barbarian encampment, which is nice. There's always, as I said, a city-state or an enemy AI that deals with barbarians around you, so you don't need to worry so much about that. I think at this point this slinger needs to upgrade to archer as soon as possible. And actually I'm getting this guy back as well. I don't think he will kill anyone as a slinger. Okay, we have one archer. We are soon going to have 3 archers because we have money enough to upgrade these 2 slingers. So I think it's time to get a builder. And then we're going to go for a settler. Even at war, you shouldn't neglect early expansion. I decided to upgrade instead of attacking because I think with 2 archer attacks we are going to do much more damage. When the carpet of warriors reaches your city, you need several archers. Good. As you can see, 2 archer attacks are very strong at this point in the game. Time to do some changes here. Send the slinger back and turn him into an archer. With 3 archers you will boost machinery, which is also very good. And we have a barbarian archer, which can happen sometimes. This guy can retreat. We're going to finish this warrior. It's always more important to finish enemy units rather than weakening a lot of them. Just finish one, then finish another. Go one by one. Okay, boost to masonry can be useful if you are getting attacked from all sides of the map, so you can get some walls. Actually, let's go for it. Let's see if I can afford to build a settler now. It's a bit risky because we have some units here, but I think it's going to be okay. Okay, he will not make peace yet, but he will accept it once we destroy his army. Look at that, we're already on our way. Well, normally I could refuse this deal and try to get more money, kill a few more units and try to get more money, but in this example, because I'm only teaching you how to deal with it initially, and we have barbarians very close and all of that, I'm going to stop the war for now. But you can see that I was killing his army, so I could have totally dragged this for a bit longer. And now that we are at peace, what I'm doing is improving my land and taking care of the barbarians that were to the southwest. I don't need to care about nowhere for a while. I am moving everyone to get this outpost because at this point I know that Harald will not attack me for another 10 turns at least. I found another city-state, but they already met someone, which suggests that there is someone on the west. Unfortunately, I cannot settle this river because Muscat is too close, but maybe I can settle a city here. Plan your expansions whenever possible, especially if you have sites that the AI cannot forward settle. Because the barbarians have sent their spearmen and their warrior away, and they didn't have time to spawn more units because they didn't find my city and come back. Now the encampment is empty, or the barbarian outpost is empty. However, Norway did steal this area that I wanted to settle, so the normal thing here would be to declare war on them and take this city. First of all, though, I will expand to this river over here. It's going to give me furs, some food maybe, some sheep, and overall more land. I might have time to boost early empire, so I'm going to change now this to craftsmanship, which is already boosted. At this point I'm just clearing whatever is left of the barbarians, and I'm clearing their encampment, and I'm taking my settler to the place where my new city should be founded. Now I'm going to go for bronze working to see if I have iron around my city. It's already boosted. Actually, I thought about this better. I will go for the wheel to get some heavy chariots. They are very good at attacking units in the very early game. It's also boosted. We can see this city doesn't have walls yet, and there is only one warrior here. So it should be an easy prey, especially if we consider that some of my archers already have some experience. Harald is already denouncing me because my navy is weak. This is useful because it gives us an excuse to invade him, although in the ancient and classical eras the warmonger penalties are not so bad. This barbarian scout was dangerous. He could have killed my settler. I made a very risky move by sending this settler unescorted. I had to do it though because I was moving all of my units to Norway. Anyway, to avoid any dangers, we are going to build a city already. Another option would have been leaving a warrior there for fog busting to avoid barbarians. I will ignore his request because I might keep settling close to him, and I'm not interested in having a good diplomatic relation with him because I'm about to invade his city. There is bound to be war in the early game, so don't care much about diplomacy initially. I am going to remove the strength against barbarians, and I'm going to add some production to my ancient and classical melee and ranged units so I can get archers a little bit faster. I do want state workforce because I want this policy to reduce my maintenance costs. I will want it very soon because I will start to have a lot of units. It's time to declare war. Now I try to position my units in a way that all of them can attack. We want to attack with as many archers as possible. I'm going to try to siege this city so it cannot heal. So I need to keep one of my warriors on this side. I obviously need to kill this warrior. And that slinger. Now I'm just finishing the units and trying to scare that Viking longship away. Now my archers are coming in only 3 turns. There's no need to change governments at this point, but what I'm going to focus on is just positioning my units correctly. As I said, you want to have as many archer attacks as possible against the city. I know this warrior cannot attack me because he will have to go through Granada Slinger, and Norway will move before the city-state. The AA moves first, then the city-states, and finally the barbarians. That's the order on every turn. As you can see, I'm finishing the units around the city and positioning more archers. This archer might die soon, but in the meantime he will kill another warrior. When you invade a city on Deity, on the early game, you're bound to lose a unit or two. That's fine, don't worry about it. As long as you're ready for it and you have enough production to recover, to replenish your army, that's fine. The AI will always lose, or should always lose, many more units than you. You can see at this point Harald is bringing a scout. That is probably because that guy is the last unit he has left up there. Also I met Spain, but they are not close, so they are irrelevant. And basically I'm just using my archers to weaken the city. I'm not going to take it yet. I need all of them to fire on the same turn, because I'm not being able to siege that city because it's coastal. So it keeps healing. I need most of my archers to fire at the same time. Harald is already offering a very nice amount of money for peace. Now let's see if we can get our city. The answer is no, so we will try to go on with the war. Sometimes when they're weak enough, they will give you a city as part of the peace deal, and that is great, because that city won't count against you for warmonger penalties. So if you can take the city without actually invading it physically, that's always better. Oh, you see there was a chariot there, but it came too late. I already have a chariot to counter it. We can keep producing archers because we know we are going to reduce our maintenance cost very soon. So this will actually be positive very soon, thanks to this policy. You should always get the military policy that reduces your maintenance cost. It's the best one. If the city builds walls, we will accept the peace treaty.
Writing is easy.
I may have been able to take this turn with that warrior, but it was a big risk. I preferred to make it safe. I want to boost currency, so I'm going to stop my unit production here and get a trader. I think I might get this city anyway. Don't let your early war distract you from the basic things you need to do in the early game. You need currency early for trade routes, don't forget about it. Norway has decided to produce a builder, which is actually good for me because I'm going to capture this unit. And that's it. I have captured the builder from Norway. I decide to keep the city, and now we can make peace. I got 16 gold per turn, which is all the gold he can give. He's ceding me the city, he's giving me iron, and he's giving me jade, which I already have, but I like taking it from him to weaken him. So I accept the deal, and that's it. Immediately after the war finishes, you can always send a delegation, which I recommend you do to get some visibility. And that's the end of this training. As you can see, it's turn 59, and I managed to deal with barbarians, and I managed to deal with the invasion from Norway. Now I will send my troops to deal with this warrior. I will probably try to expand here because we have a river tile and this tile is far enough from Muscat. And maybe eventually we can make city number 5 over there. maybe a city number 6 in this coast, and with 6 cities we can plan for a better invasion of the Norwegian Empire to get all of their cities and then go for our for any type of victory that we want, really. If you have any questions about how to deal with barbarians or how to deal with early invasions from aggressive neighbors, just say it in the comments and I will answer gladly.